Okay, it's recorded.
Roshan, I don't think Hadi is here yet.
Okay, then Raj, can you start by taking attendance real quick?
Hadi is joining in 2 minutes. He's right next to me.
I think you mentioned that he's outside, so he might be taking a while. So, do you mind starting with attendance now?
Okay, yeah, sure, sure.
Hey, Raj, are you ready now?
Yeah, ready.
All right, let's go now. Raj, go ahead.
Hello guys. I'm here, but my mom is calling me. I'm gonna take this call for a quick while, yeah.
Should I just take the attendance now?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Raj. I think you can just go ahead at this point.
Okay. Okay, then Roshan is here. Raj, are you here?
Yeah, I don't know. My
Okay.
network's not working properly.
Oh, okay. Then Kirara, I don't think she's here. Hadi, is he here already? Okay,
I think so.
there's no Hadi. Okay, and then next, Koki here, Shalon here, Ethan.
Here.
Okay, Inet,
Here.
Kamala,
Here.
Sonia, Mangya,
Here.
Jackson.
Jackson mentioned that he's unable to make it.
Okay, Cheryl.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Jasper.
Jasper is at an exam right now.
Okay. Inan.
Yeah, here.
Okay. Oi. And
Here.
Ariel. Imam. Okay, Irfan.
Here.
Okay. Darlene.
Darlene is doing her exam as well.
Okay. Brian here. Okay. Kaiwei.
Here.
Yin Cheng.
She will be joining shortly.
Okay. Kalvina.
Here.
Navin.
Here.
Okay. Jeremy. Stephanie. Rainier. Maisa.
Sorry, I'm Yin Cheng. I just joined from SOIT Rep.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Mm,
SOIT Rep.
Oh, SIT. Okay,
Thank
thank you. If you guys just joined the meeting, please let me know your attendance, like through the chat. And okay, I think we can start now, right?
Yep, go on.
Rashwan, can we start? Okay. Okay, you can start. Wait, okay, we haven't taken attendance for the non-MSC member, sorry. Ashley, are you there? Danelle,
Here.
she, Janet,
Here.
Aisha, Rohan, yeah, I thought Rohan is in the meeting already. Rohan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Sudipta, okay, not here. Dominic, Fadia,
Here.
okay. Ivan, Michelle,
Here.
Rachel,
Present.
okay. Simdakshan, wait, sorry.
Present.
Okay, thank you. Shuan,
First time I heard everyone say my name as Indian.
Nada,
Here.
Yanning,
Here.
Wong Junjet,
Here.
James,
He's currently busy dealing with Monash Cup.
okay. And Jia Zepyong,
Not here.
Not here.
Not here.
not here. Wait, who's here? Stephanie. Stephanie, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, came in late.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Jeremy not here.
Nope, he sent in the apology letter already.
Oh, okay. So it's absent with apologies, Jeremy. And who? Oh, we'll just complete it after. Okay, I think Koki can start with our first agenda, which is the Musa 2021 versus Musa 2022 budget comparison.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to AGM today. Let me introduce myself to who don't know me. My name is Koki Taniguchi, who is the Musa Treasurer 2023. So let's get started. So first, I think, Shalin, can you scroll up a bit the agenda? Yeah, thank you. So first of all, let me talk about the agenda to you all. So this AGM will discuss 7 topics. First topic is about the budget comparison between 2021 and 2022, which shows the differences in departments' expenditures in these years. And the second topic is about the financial report in 2022, which tells the budgeted funds and the actual expenses. The top one is analyst report in 2023, which will be taught by our analyst Hong. Then the fourth topic is auditor's comments and notes on budget uses this year by our auditors. And afterward, the finalized budget, general ledger, and event cash flow report will be presented by Shalen. So, okay, let's move on to the first topic, the budget comparison. Okay, thank you. In this comparison report, we compared the net expenses between 2021 and 2022. Since the number of the departments are too many, so we will mainly look at the total numbers. The first department is the present department. The total net expenses in 2022 is 28,976.66, which increased by more than 10,000 from 2021. The next department is Vice President. Okay, thank you. The total net expense, in 2022, the department spent 10,447.77, which decreased by more than 2K. But in both years, the most expenses are related to TEDx, as you can see from the table. So the next department is the General Secretary. As the table shows, the expense in 2021 is much higher than that in 2022, which spent more than 35K because of the e-voting platform. However, it is common that the most of the expenses are related to the annual election. Okay, then the next department is CSJB. The CSJB is the other campus which is located in Johor Bahru. Then CSJB has increased their budget from 2021 to 2022 more than 3.5 times of it. As the table breakdown shows, they have arranged many events from 2022 and this year as well. Okay, then next department is the treasurer. Actually, your department had no expenses in 2021, but in 2022, we had expense which cost 310 ringgit. So in next department, it is activities chairpersons. In activity chairperson department, they have increased the expenses from 30,752.25 to 76,919.13. The main expenses in 2022 are the Monash Bowl and the Monash Got Talent. Okay, the next department is the editors. For editors department, their budget has decreased from 34K to 22K approximately. But in both years, the main expense was the manga magazine. Okay. The next department is the publicity officers. The net expense in 2022 looks much lower than that in 2021, but the main expense in 2021 is the Musa Office Bella t-shirt, though it has been changed on the President Department in 2022. So the other expenses have been increased actually. The next department is welfare officers. The total net expenses has been increased, which has mainly spent on Wellness Week. However, they have made the revenue from student lounge from 2022. For women officers, Shannon, can you scroll down? Thank you. For women officers, the total expenditure in 2022 has been reduced from 10,124 to 3,030. The next department is the crafts and societies. The total expenditure in 2022 was 149,964, while that in 2021 was 55,150. Okay, yeah, scroll. Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, this is MUIS. For MUIS, which stands for Monash University International Student Services, the expenses and budget have jumped up to 3 times of that in 2021. Monash Cultural Night occupied most of the budget proportion. Okay, the next one is the 7 schools. The School of Arts and Social Sciences, the department has reduced the expenses slightly from 2,480 to 1,915.880. Okay, so for SOB, okay, School of Business got higher expenditure, more than 3 times of that in 2021. From the table, you can see SOB in 2022 got more events compared to 2021. Okay, then School of Engineering. Okay, this department increased the expenses more than 5 times that in 2021, especially so it spent on the Distress Night event with other schools. Okay, the next department is so IT. Yeah. So School of Information Technology has spent 2,018 ringgit in 2022, which decreased by more than 2K from 2021. For its next department is the SOMHS. This department spent more than 3K than that in 2021, which is 8,365.90. More than half of the expenses is the merchandise, as you can see from the table. So the next one is the School of Pharmacy. The School of Pharmacy spent almost 8K in 2022, but it's not much different from 2021, which is 6,795.83. At last, the School of Science. Can you scroll down a bit? Okay, thank you. The School of Science reduced their expenditures from 4.4K to 3,348.33 in 2022. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic, which is the financial report in 2022. This report shows the budgeted expenses and the actual expenditures, so you can see how much those are different. So, okay, this is the summary of the report that you can compare with other departments. Okay, let's move on to the President Department. Okay, can you scroll a bit more? Thank you. Okay, this is the President Department. Actual expense is 28,900, 28,976.66, and the budget was 21,720. So the gap is 256.66, which was under budgeted. So the next department is the Vice President. Okay, for Vice President, the gap is so huge, 60, can you scroll a bit more? Thank you. The gap is still huge, the 63,328, but it's over budgeted. Okay, the next department is the General Secretary. General Secretary also over budgeted more than 2 times of it, which is 8,200, but the actual expense is only 4,000. Yeah. Then next one is our department treasurer. So our department treasurer didn't budgeted any expenses but spent 310 in actual expense. So for CSJB, there is a huge gap which amounted 51,074.55, but it's over budgeted, so it's okay. Then sorry, next department is the activity chairperson. Activity chairperson spent more than budgeted amount, which is 76,919.13. Okay, for next department, which is editors. They over budgeted 3,439.59. So the actual expenses are not that much as budgeted. Okay, then next one is the publicity officers. The publicity officers budgeted very exact. The gap was only 21.67 ringgit. Okay, and next department is the welfare officers. The welfare officers budgeted much more than the actual budgeted. The gap is 176.18. So, but then next one is the women officer. Corruption Society. Okay, for Corruption Society, budgeted much less than the actual budget. The difference is 36,224.13. Okay, then next one is the MOIS. For MOIS, this department spent 60,604.77 in actual expense, but the budgeted amount is 57,577.5, which the gap is 3,027.27. Okay. Then the School of Sorry.
Which year is this from again? Is this 2021 or 2022?
Sorry, can you repeat again?
This is from 2022, right?
Oh, yeah, this is 2022. This
All right.
financial report is 2022.
All right. Thanks, Koki.
Okay. So this is a School of Arts and Social Sciences. This department over budgeted almost 3K. The actual expense is 1,915.8 ringgit. Okay, then next department is the Shalane, can you scroll a bit? Okay, thank you. The School of Business also over budgeted the 1,591.32 ringgit. The actual expense is 4,628.68. Okay, then next department is the School of Engineering. School of Engineering spent 5,481.23 in actual expense, but the budget is 5,814, which the gap is 332.77. Okay, the next department is SOIT. SOIT budgeted 5,590, but the actual expense was 2,018. The difference was 3,572 over budgeted. Okay, the next department is SOMHS. Shalane, can you scroll a bit? Okay, thank you. SOMHS. SOMHS under budgeted 658.59. The actual expense is 7,033.59, and the budgeted amount is 6,375. Okay, then at the last department, the SOS, the School of Science, budgeted 6,040, but the actual budget was 3,348. The budgeted gap was 2,691. Okay, thank you. the next topic is the analyst report by our analyst Hong. Thank you. Hi, I am Hong, the financial analyst for Musa this year. And
Sorry, Hong.
yeah.
I think Roshan wants to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Roshan?
Yeah, sorry, could you repeat yourself, please?
Me?
Oh, I thought you gonna say something, like because you raised your hand.
Oh wait, that was for before. I forgot to lower it. My bad.
Okay. Then Hong, you can start.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Hong, the financial analyst for this year, and I guess to keep things short and simple, I prepared this analyst report for everyone here. Do you mind scrolling now a bit? Yeah. Okay, so basically this graph shows the budgeted and the actual expenses for 2022. It shows that basically most of the entities have maintained within the budget except for a few, namely the president, the treasurer, activities chairperson, CNS, MUIS, and the School of Medical Health Science representatives and the School of Pharmacy representatives. With what seems to be the vice president's office over budgeting with unused 85.8%, and the CSJB treasurers being over budgeted with unused 57.8% of the total allocated budget. And do you mind scrolling down? And for the 2022 expenses, basically the pie chart over there shows the breakdown of the types of expenses that were recorded over the year, with blue showing the budget proposal, the yellow over there showing the financial report, green for Grab, and the red one for the purchase order. And the comparison between the actual expenses of last year and the year before shows that there is a general increase for almost all of the entities shown, with an increase by expenditure of MUIS, CNS, welfare, activities, treasurers, CSJB, and the president. As you can see below, highlighted with bold. And this, personally, I think is due to the COVID pandemic, whereby in 2021, most of the activities and basically everything was shut down, everything was moved over online. So during 2022, when things got back to normal, the expenditure for the whole uni increased tremendously. So it should not be of any concern. It was also found that there's a drastic increase in expenditure by GenSec department of close to 800%, 8 times the previous year, which was due to a close to 30K payment for e-voting platform and 5K plus increase for the annual general elections. So for that, I also think it should not be of any concern. It also shows that there is a 30K payment for... Yeah, never mind, sorry. And the 54% increase in the editors department, which was basically just due to the monthly thematic months, the launch, and the payments of close to 10K and 2K for website maintenance and magazine deliveries. So all in all, the comparison between 2021 and 2022 is generally normal. But I would also like to, do you mind scrolling down a bit more? Thank you. To recommend a few changes to maybe the following year's budget. Basically, in bullet points there, to relocate approximately half of the overall budget reserved for the vice president, about 20% of the overall budget reserved for the treasurers, CSJB,
to be reallocated to clubs and societies, activities chairpersons, and MUIS, because now the school is celebrating the 25th anniversary. So I think the general amount of activities and whatnot would increase. So the expenditure will definitely increase for these few also. And this is also to try and combat the overspending of some of the, well, basically the overspending and underspending of some of the entities. And to, if possible, increase the budget for CNS, the activities, and MUIS, as they seem to also need the extra funds to carry on with the activities for this year and next year. And preferably, if possible, add a 500 ringgit budget for the Treasurer's Department, just in case of any sort of expenditure. Although most likely the Treasurer Department will not have any expenditure, it would be better to prepare a small sum of money just in case we do have expenditure. And the representatives of all 7 schools should also have a budget increase by about 10% if possible. And for the future of the bookkeeping, I would propose that the budget allocation be put under more general terms instead of very specific events, as it seems like some of the events are not exactly annual events, and thus it would clear up more of the clutter. Like a lot of the events that did not happen again, like this year, we don't need to include it in the financial statement as a zero amount. And to include a drop-down list in the divisions for people making financial composition requests to basically make it easier for the auditors and for the future financial analysts or me to basically put everything where it should be. And that should conclude my presentation today. Is there any questions before we move on to the auditor's comments?
Okay, if I think there's no question. Oh, yes, Raj has
There's
a question.
Yeah.
Okay, Raj, you can go on with your question.
Did you consider the expenses for TEDx? I believe so. Most of the data that was collected for this analyst report is shown in the financial report above that was explained by Koki previously. So there should be, yeah, there is a TEDx over there. Even with that, it seems over budgeted. So if not by the 50%, maybe just decrease it by maybe at the minimum 25% to allocate to the other entities that might need to use it. Because I do see like the possibility of some others, maybe like CNS increasing the expenditure. Does that answer your question?
Hi, I have a question as well. So I wanted to ask, so given that there are some very large expenses that happen towards like the end of the year that have not been occurred by us yet, did you take these expenses into consideration when you made your recommendations? And by expenses, I mean expenses like MCN, Monash Ball, the rest of Monash Cup.
Actually, for those, for the graphs, I base everything off of the financial report. So
okay,
if
so it's backed by the report, right?
Yeah, if anything was omitted, I guess I'll look into it and give you some sort of short report afterwards.
Okay, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that answers my question.
Okay, thank you. But either way, I think we can try to push for a budget increase for some of the others. Yeah. Is there any more?
If there's no more question, I think we can proceed with auditor's comments and notes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Huang. Okay, auditors, you can present your part.
Okay, so hi, my name is Ellen Jocelyn and I'm from Musa Auditor 2023. And now we want to present our analysis on 2022 Musa financial system. So firstly, in 2022, requesters uploaded individual links to upload their files, causing inconvenience for auditors who had to collect and manage multiple links and create separate folders for each file. This approach made document verification challenging and time-consuming. Secondly, in the same year, most auditors were required to manually generate reference number one by one, which resulted in a less efficient workflow. And the third one, all types of requests are compiled in a single tab, posing challenges and time constraints for auditors in locating the necessary file. Next, I pass on to the next auditor.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn. So previous years, the clubs under CMS, they had their own fund tracker system and therefore they need to submit it to CNS fund tracker before the CMS submitted it to the Musa's fund tracker, and hence it lengthens the fund request process. And then last year, 2022, some requesters failed to submit the required documents, namely FIR and financial reports. And the last one is for the events proposed budget. The majority of it were accurately identified by each department or clubs. And the reports have also demonstrated that spending for the events has seldom exceeded or fallen short of budget.
Hi, I'm Sharon from Musa Auditor 2023. To wrap up the comments, overall the financial report was reported in a true and fair view. Next, I'll present the recommendations provided by us, the auditors of Musa 2023. Firstly, adopt a more integrated system to collect required documentations from requesters. In 2023, requesters have embraced a more efficient approach by providing a single link containing all the files neatly organized in a dedicated folder. This adoption has significantly eased the workload for auditors, allowing us to access and review the documents efficiently. Secondly, create a more efficient way to generate reference number with less time constraint. These have been implemented where the systems now automatically generates reference numbers, removing the need for manual input and simplify the entire procedure. Next, I pass on to the next auditor.
Hi, I'm going to present the last one. To create a tab for every type of request, allowing auditors with different job scopes to efficiently work on the task without the hassle of searching through every single tab. And this has been adopted in the 2023 Fund Tracker. And the last one is to reduce efficiency by removing CNS Fund Tracker. This year, Musa has implemented it and switched to using the Musa Fund Tracker only, which has proven to be a more efficient and time-saving method for fund submission. And that is all for the auditor's comments and notes. Thank you.
Maybe anyone has any question about the auditor's comments and notes? Hey, sorry. Okay, I'll take it as a no. So, okay, wait, let me turn on my camera. Okay, so now I'll start to present about the Musa 2023 finalized budget. So it's basically the OPEX we constructed in the beginning of this year. So we allocate the budget to each departments, the 540K. And yeah, I will just present it briefly. So for president, we allocate budget for basically the t-shirt, the office bearer and subcommittee t-shirt, business card, MUVP, and also Musa appreciation dinner. The total is 31,641 ringgit with no revenue expected. So yeah, the net balance is 31,641 ringgit. And moving on to the next one is vice president. For vice president, there's like EAC funds, student subsidy funds, student initiative event funds, TEDx, Beyond Academics on Campus Distress Night, and Monash 101. The total will be 72,537.68, with the revenue expected from TEDx 2,500, so making the net balance to be 70,037.68 ringgit. And then the next one is the GenSec. So GenSec is basically the by-election stationaries, AGM and MSc meeting refreshment and annual elections. So the total expense will be 6,985 with no revenue expected. So the net balance will be 6,985 ringgit. The next one is for CSJB. So CSJB also has like departments under them. For presidential department, we allocate 7,784. For secretarial, 20,972 because they have club and societies under them. So the budgeted funds is quite a lot. And the next one is academic. For academic, we budgeted 2,200. For social and welfare, we budgeted like 23,304. External liaison, 1,430, community 7,725, and then sports 16,524.5. So the total will be nearing 80,000, which is 79,939.5 ringgit. And then the next one is club societies. So there's budget for operational funds 3,000, Monash Cup 96,000 with the expected revenue of 27,000, club pool funds 54,000, Monash Cup merchandise 80,000 with the expected revenue 10,000, and then the expense carried forward from 2022 468. This carry forward amount is because of the Monash Cup. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's because of one of the house treasurer not able to reimburse the participants. Yeah, so the expense is being carried forward to this financial year. So the total expense will be 161,468 ringgit with the expected revenue 37,000, and the net balance would be 124,468 ringgit. And next is MUIS. For MUIS, we budgeted for the magazine, monthly competition, and then there's MCN that accounted for like most of the budget, like 63,845 ringgit. But the revenue expected is also large, which is 30,000. And we have budgeted for country events, then collaborations, One World, Jomsanway, Holy Festival, and yeah, many others events. And the total expense will be 103.5 ringgit. And the expected revenue is also a lot, like 62,795. So the net balance will be 50,308.5 ringgit. The next one is activities chairperson. We budgeted for MVP because they're built up under activities chairperson. Then there's MGT 8,000 and we expect revenue for 1,000. There's also Monash Ball, which taken up quite a lot of the budget. 116,690 ringgit with the expected revenue of 65,000. And we also have budgeted for Holi Festival, Musa Awards, and other collaborations events. And the total expense is 131,932.5, but the expected revenue is 67,125 ringgit. So the net balance will be 64,807.5 ringgit. Next is welfare department. For welfare, we budgeted for mental health week, Hey There, Have a Donut, then Midsum snack pack, and then wellness week. Wellness week, we budgeted like quite a lot, 14,000. And then Friendship Day event, Musa Awards launch maintenance and launch employee salary for 15,300. And then we also expected revenue from the launch. It's about 16,000. So the net balance will be like 35,780 for welfare. And the next one is the women's officer. For women's officer, we allocate budget for International Women's Day, Code Red, Women's Week, Pride Month, SRH Talk MU, monthly discussion, queer discussion, and queer movie night. So the total is 8,041 ringgit.5, and there's no revenue expected from this department. And for publicity officers, we budget for Musa website, Musa giveaway, and then we also have social media advertisement, orientation giveaways, Musa YouTube, Musa merchandise, which take up to 41,808 ringgit, but the revenue is quite a lot. It's 53,805. And there's a budget for booth decoration, banners, and then publicity, activities, chairperson, activities. So the total expense will be 53,758 ringgit, but because of it offset by the revenue, mainly because of the merchandise, the net balance is minus 797. Next, moving on to the editors, we have the largest allocation is to the magazine. It's 20,825. The others is like for website maintenance, semesterly thematic theme, launch snapshots, flagship events, subcommittee maintenance and expansion, and writers' badges. So the total expense from this department is 24,630.75. Then next, moving on to the 7 schools. First, for School of Business, we budget for events like Mingle Nights, SOB here, Scam Night, and then there's like many collaborations with other schools. And we also have budgeted for each schools is like 7 schools carnival and 7 schools spirit week. For 7 schools carnival, every departments have like 1,000 budgeted for them. And then the total for SOB is 14,025 ringgit. And the expected revenue is mostly from the SOB merchandise, which is 7,000. But the total expected revenue will be 8,375. And then the net balance will be 5,650. And then moving on to School of Science. Well, School of Science, we also budget for Mingle Night, welcoming events, school collaborations, and you can see this is the school carnival, then 7 school spirit week set to give away. And then also we have SOS merch being budgeted. It costs like 3,474 estimated, and the expected revenue is 4,267. But overall, the net balance of this department is 6,488.2. And moving on to SOM HS, we budgeted for the same, like school spirit week, 7 school carnival, and then there's like mingle night, welcoming night, like physical psychology set to give away, graphic designer, and many other collaborations with other departments. And the total expense is like 35,615, and it is offset by the expected revenue of 29,183.33. So the net balance will be 6,431.67. Next is the School of Arts and Social Sciences. So for this department, we budgeted for Mango Saturday, Chill with 7 School Spirit Week again, and then Carnival. And this is the collaboration between schools and then collaboration with SAS clubs. The total expense will be 6,460 with the expected revenue 333.3. So the net balance will be 6,126.7. And next is SOIT. For SOIT, we're budgeted for Spirit Week, Carnival, and then this is schools collaboration, Career Talk, Community Night, another collaboration, and the t-shirt sales. We also expected revenue from this merch sales. And yeah, the net balance becomes like 6,500. And the next one is SOE. For SOE, we budget for school carnival, schools collaboration, Spirit Week, and yeah. So the total expense is 8,086, with the expected revenue 1,625, and the net balance is 6,461. And the last is the School of Pharmacy. So we budgeted for orientation, mentor-mentee program, 7 School Spirit Week, Distress Week, Set a Giveaway, and other events. Other collaboration events. The total expense is 44,500 with the expected revenue 38,000, which is mainly from the year-end dinner. So after we offset them, the net balance will be 6,500. So yeah, I think that's all about the OPEX. Is there any question about that? If not, then I will proceed with the general ledger. So for this general ledger, it reflects all the expenditures that MUSA 2023 has made this far. So yeah, this is the executive summary. So what will be included in this ledger is the Grab vouchers that has been distributed, PRPO that has been invoiced, and then the CR that have been approved by the MUSA president, and also the event cash that have been distributed by the MUSA treasurer. So yeah, so far we have spent this much, but I would say that some of the requests has not been added yet to the ledger. Why? Because yeah, it doesn't fulfill this criteria yet. So maybe there's like PRPO request that in which Koki has not received the invoice, and then Grab vouchers is still pending, and then approved CR maybe it's still pending, and maybe the event cash is I've not distributed yet. So I haven't asked my subcom to include it to the general ledger. So when I present the general ledger, maybe each department can take some time, maybe to screenshot their ledger, each of their ledger, and then maybe you can help us to check if the expense is correct. And if there's any discrepancy or any error from your part, then you can tell us. Like maybe we recorded wrong or something like that. So yeah, feel free to tell us maybe after this presentation. So for the first one, we have president. For president, the net expense is like 8,428.82. So most of the expense is from MUVP. Not most of them, but actually all of them is from MUVP. And all the transaction status is completed. So most of them is CR requests. We have one Grab request and PRPO. So next for vice president, this is all the expenses that we've recorded. We have Monash 101, and then this is for the EAC funds. And it's basically Monash 101 and EAC funds. And all the transaction status is already completed. And for Monash 101, there's pending reconciliation here. And so far, the net expense is 5,457.72. VP, you can take a screenshot and check if all the expenses is correct here. Okay, I'll move on there. For the next one is Gensec. The only payment made is for the by-election payment, just the Grab vouchers request, and the status is completed. So the expense is only 500. Next one is CSJV treasurer. These are all the requests that we've added to the ledger. But are you here?
Hi, yes.
Maybe you wanna take a screenshot of this?
All right,
I'll
sure,
give
sure.
you some time. Let me know when to scroll down.
All right, can you scroll to the next page? Okay, thank you.
We have one more. Okay, I'll move on to activities chairperson. So for activities chairperson, it's mostly requests from MVP, but recently we have the request for MGT, Mystery Unveiled, and the Memories Within. All status is completed. It's just there's pending CR because it is already submitted to the finance, but yeah, still waiting for them to transfer the money. And then next is welfare officer. So for welfare officer, they spend like 14,343.28, mostly because of the mental health campaign and academic subsidy. And also, hey there, have a snack. But what I will highlight here is the academic subsidy one. There's folder missing. I think I've reached out to Jasper about this, but I'm not sure about the update. But when I open the folder, it seems like I'm directed to the home page again. So I think the folder is mistakenly being deleted or something. So maybe you can check on that. And yeah, that's all for welfare. And moving on to women's officer, we have like one EC request mounted to 66.87. And then moving on to publicity officers. For publicity officer, so far they've spent 6,405.7. And yeah, the biggest expenditure is from the office bearer uniform. Next one is for editors. For editors, so far they've spent 1,541. And yeah, maybe if you're wanna take a screenshot, you can take it. Okay, and then I'll move on to MOES. For MOES, most of the expenditure is for the game war. Oh no, for the MOES One World. And then yeah, and the total expenditure is 5,966. And Rohan, please do check like if there's any expense I missed. And maybe you can take a screenshot. Okay, then I'll move on to club and society. So this is basically all the requests from the clubs or from CNS department itself. And so far they've spent 62,400.35. So I think this is already half of your budget, right? If I'm not mistaken. But do you guys want to screenshot it? Or maybe I'll just share the link of this report after the AGM meeting so that you can review through it and you can contact me or Koki if there's any error about the report so we can fix it for you. And then for 7 schools, first we have School of Arts and Social Sciences. So they spend 1,772 so far. These are the expenses. And then Yeah, for this 7-school mini-fold, this 507.14 is actually divided among like the 7 schools. So yeah, I think in the other one, yeah, the other school also have this expenses. 7-school mini-fold. For SOB, their current expenditure is like 4,316.07. Oh yeah, and also I wanted to, oh, never mind. Okay, I think, yeah, that's all. For SOE, there's not much requests from them. So there's like only 2 PRPO and 1 Grab. And so far they've only spent 800. For SOIT, yeah, the largest expense is due to the PRPO request, the SOIT t-shirt sales. And Distress Night also have quite a huge net expense. So far they've spent like 7,407.28. For School of Science, so far their expenses is 4,134.99. And yeah, so okay. And then next, School of Medicine and Health Sciences. They actually have quite a lot of requests, but everything totals up to 4,936.36, which is still within their budget. So yeah, I feel all good about this. Okay, and then for SOP, the largest request is like for the SOP orientation 2023, the CR request. And then the total of the request is like 2,636.93. Okay, I think that's all for the general ledger. Do you guys have any questions? Maybe you guys want to see the summary.
Stanley, I actually missed the second page of my part. Can you scroll down for me?
Oh, okay, no worries. So this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no worries. So this is your actual net expenses, and this is your budgeted. So you can see whether you are over budgeted or under budgeted here. So is there any question? If there's no, I will proceed with our last report, which is the event cash report. Okay, I think there's no more question. Next, I'll be presenting about our last report, which is the MUSA 2023 event cash flow report. So basically, this is a new system for MUSA this year because last year we don't have this cash flow given to us. Like in last year we have it as cash in advance. But for now, since we are given a float, then yeah, I'll let you know the breakdown of the float. So for the first semester, like in the end of the first semester, the cash at bank in the Musa Treasury's bank account is 15,290. And this is the breakdown. Like in the beginning of the semester 1, we are given 25,000 cash flow, and 27,145 is being used to be distributed to the departments for event cash. And then after receiving all the financial reports and all the receipts, we managed to get replenishment from finance, which amounted to 14,955.4. And then there's also remittance from requester, which amounted to 2,479.68. Yeah, 68. Because we have this remittance because sometimes the EC that we distribute, the requester didn't use it all, so they need to remit it back to us. So after accounting all of this, we have 15,290 as the ending balance, which is the same as the amount of cash at bank. And then, yeah, since we have this amount in our cash at bank, then where do the 9,710 go? So this 9,710 is still in the requester hand by that time, like in semester 1. So this is the events. So at that time, welfare academic subsidy, like welfare is still holding the 2,000 because of the academic subsidy, and then CFJB is also holding the 7,710 for sports carnival because they postponed the event. So yeah, and then this is the tracker, the financial tracker for semester 1. So this is from so we record when the money goes in, goes out, and then this is the final amount is 15,290. So I make this tracker because me and Koki make this tracker because we only have one bank account. So my personal funds with Musa funds is being combined at that time. So I need to make this tracker to help me track all the Musa funds. And this is just the overview. And then the next one is for semester 2. So for semester 2, as of today, we have 4,407.8 in our bank account. And the breakdown is like this. The opening balance is 15,290. And then there's remittance of 2,127.64. This is actually from the previous events in semester 1, these 2 events. So they didn't spend all of the event cash distributed, so they remit back to us 2,127.64. And then there's replenishment from finance for semester 1, which means that this is replenishment for both of these events. Okay, the replenishment is 7,582.36. And then for all of this is for the figure for semester 2. So we receive remittance from requester 2,996.48. Then there's replenishment from finance 7,168.78. Event revenue 378.72. I'll explain in more details where do you get this event revenue from, but I'll explain it below. Next we have disbursement to requester. So disbursement to requester is basically Musa Treasurer distributing the event cash. So the total up to now is 15,311.26. And then reimbursement to requester is when the event cash is not enough to cover all the event expenses. And this total up to 824.92. And lastly is the remittance to finance. So this one is actually formerly we have 25,000 in our petty cash flow plus the event revenue. So it's 25,378.72. But after the peak season, finance asked us to remit back this 15,000. So I've remitted this 15,000, leaving our flow to never mind. I've remitted this 15,000. So after accounting of everything, yes, the figure match with the cash at bank. It's also 4,407.8. Then since yeah, we have this amount in our cash at bank. So the rest of the amount that we are supposed to have, 3,000 is still, wait, requester. Oh, 3,000 is still with requester. And for the 2,000, I've submitted the request for replenishment, but it's still in process. So this 2,000 is still receivables. And as for the remittance from requester, all requester have remitted back to Musa Treasurer, so there's no outstanding balance. So, and next for the payable, so I've reimbursed to requester like, so yeah, I've reimbursed all requester for the event cash when it's not enough. And then remittance to finance, I've remit all this back, the 50,000. So the figure here for the payables is 0. And then after, if we sum up this 4,000, 3,000, 2,000 minus by 0, the payable, we will get 10,000. And this figure is actually makes sense. Why? Because at first we have 25,000. We remit back 15,000 to finance, leaving us with 10,000. But we also have this event revenue, 378.72. So our total float is 10,378.72. But what we have now in our bank account is 4,407.8. Yeah, I think that's all. And then next is the revenue remitted to finance. So basically we've made some revenue, but it is due to the sales of merch. So it's basically under payment request, and then we get the revenue. And we have this regulation from finance that we cannot keep those kind of revenue, so we need to remit it back to finance. So I've remitted the merch sales for Monash Cup, which amounted to 5,030. MUVP volunteer t-shirt 975, and SOM School of Medicine and Health Science merch sales 680. And also for this one, this is actually not merch, but there happens to be a miscalculation. Not miscalculation. Yeah, I would say, yeah, it's a miscalculation. We mistaken this 29.6 as an expense, but it turns out that this 29.6 is a revenue. So we're not supposed to ask finance for remittance for replenishment for this. But at that time, finance has replenished us with this 29.6 thousand. So I remit them back with this. And I've asked Moist Treasure to transfer me back the revenue 29.06 to our float, back to our float. So the total remittance to finance for this semester is 6,714.06. So yeah, so this is the breakdown of our revenue. There's revenue from 2 events, which is the 7th School Miniful and Moist Orientation Game Night. And then, yeah, this is basically the explanation of what I explained before about the float. Like, we need to return 15,000 out of the 25. So we are left with 10, and then plus the revenue, 378.72. So our final float amount is 10,378.72. And for this one, it's basically explaining these 3. So these are the merch revenue that they've remitted back to finance. And then the last one is, yeah, this one. Miscalculation resulting in an unintended over-replenishment by the finance department. Okay, next, yeah, this is the proof, like the amount of the cash at bank. So if you can see, like the amount here, with the amount here, it's different, right? But this is because when I open this new bank account for to manage Musa cash flow, like it requires me to deposit 250 to maintain the account. So I use my personal funds for this 250. So every time I want to reconcile the cash at bank, I'll need to reduce this figure with 250. And if we reduce it by 250, it will be the same, 4,407.8. So yeah, I think that's all from us for the financial report for the AGM 2023. Is there any question? I think there's no question. So, like, Rashwan, what should we do next?
I think so far, questions wise, we might not have a lot, but at least in relation to like events cash, I do think it's really important that we come up with like a set standard when we consider which events we categorize for event cash, because our cash flow is pretty limited. So I think that that sort of standard does need to be created by us so that next year they don't have to worry about it as well. Because we did experience a lot of challenges this year whereby a lot of departments request event cash, but we're just not able to support all requests because we just don't have that much money in our pool. I think that's something we can work on later, but in regards to this section, if nobody has any questions, this is the last section, right?
Yeah, I think Kamala has a question.
Go ahead.
Is this gonna be sent to the file itself?
Yeah, so these documents, you
Yes.
mean the documents?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll all be shared. And
Okay.
after this meeting, they'll have to review the documents and submit it to Monash as well within 20 days of the AGM.
Okay. Also, I don't know if it's relevant for now, but I think for next year, as for like comparison between years, I think it should have been done before we make that year's budget proposal. Like, for example, the 2021 and 2022 comparison would have been beneficial for us when we are making the 2023's budget. So maybe for next year, we can try and make this like more at the start, at least just for the comparison. Yeah, that's it.
I think like this year as well, at the start, we did refer to last year's budget, but it wasn't
Yeah.
as detailed of a comparison.
Yeah. I mean, this one was great, right? We got like an analysis report and such and so on, which has like recommendations. And I think that would be beneficial when constructing one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it for me.
That's fair, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Kamala. Is there any more questions?
If no other questions, then I think we can end the meeting. Let's wait a few
Okay.
more seconds at least.
Okay.
I think it's all good. Yeah, Sheldon.
Okay, so I think that's all for our report for this AGM. Thank you for attending the annual general meeting and have a nice day. Okay, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Guys.
treasures.
Thank you.